Hey guys, sorry about that. We had another issue here. Let me see if I can get everyone to go to the new live stream. Hold on one second. I'm back, guys. It's just my freaking luck, man. Oh, geez. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to delete this one here that everybody is probably on. So give me a minute. Yeah, give me just a minute here, and I will delete this one. Hold on one second. Can't believe this. This is crazy. All right. All right. So we got a few people back, right? All right. Sorry about that. Jeez, this is a mess. This is the way my week is gone. Got 16 people back. So let me go on here and tell everybody to go over and get into the new one here. Let me see. All right, we got 20 people. All right, more people are coming. So, lordy, 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 lordy. Oh, all right, we got some people back. Hopefully, everybody finds their way back here. Thanks, Sarge. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in. I swear. So, this is why it's important. This is why it's important for me to get this room completely done. That way, I don't have issues like this. But I'll go back and I'll add the thumbnail and everything like that later on, so people can get back on there. Yeah, Reggie, take two. All right, here we go. All right, we got 31 people back. I'm going to give a second to give everybody a chance to come back here, okay? The joys of technology. Yes, sir. What do I use in my ultrasonic cleaner? I use denatured alcohol. Who else is sitting at home to start out with 3D printing and hoping you get? Having the room done would prevent power glitches. I believe that. My wife says it wouldn't. Anyway, thank you guys for coming back. All right, so let's kind of go get back pedal a little bit and let's talk about what I was talking about in the previous live stream. Mr. Bamboo Taco. All right. Sweet Tooth is here. All right. Thank you guys. It's not the UPS thing, Rob. It's the just the power glitch or whatever like that. It just knocks out my modem. So yeah, it's not, the UPS isn't going to help it at all. So so I think we got everybody back. If not, I apologize. But anyway, hey guys, so let's go back. So we were talking about making money out of 3D printing for 2023 and going into 2024. And I was talking about basically two types of people that are looking to make money. And the one is basically the hobbyist who is doing this because they enjoy it, doing it because they like doing it. They want to make stuff for themselves, for other people, and not to mention these other companies who were charging $1,100 for half of a Ghost Rider statue, thanks Sideshow, because they can't afford all this ridiculously priced nonsense that these people are putting out now. And it's still a thing where, you know, you enjoy it, but you want to make a little bit of money, maybe selling prints or something like that to help pay for the hobby, that, you know, to help pay for the hobby so you can buy resin, you can buy more printers, things like that, and continue doing what you're doing. So that's what a lot of us YouTubers do. Like, I know with my Patreon, I do charge for the Patreon, because if I open up a free Discord, there'll be thousands of people in there. Nobody would really get the one-on-one type of time that I give with my guys. And then we'd be flooded. It would just take up way too much time to answer questions and do things like that. So what I do is with my Patreon, I actually reinvest everything back into the group. And by doing that, you know, like, I'm able to help do one-on-one times with people. I do answer questions. We'll get on the voice channel, or the voice channel on the Discord. We could talk directly through camera and stuff. And I also commission out a model every month for my Patreon members to have, and it's $10. Like we just finished Ghost Rider, and it's an awesome model. We did the Bad Night for the Ninjas. We did one month, we did Wolverine. The other month we did Punisher. And then this coming month, we're doing Kraven's Last Hunt with Spider-Man busting out of the grave on the front cover of that, you know, famous cover. And it's pretty much done. I'm waiting for the cuts to be finished and everything. And so my guys hopefully will have it. They will have it by the end of this weekend. So that's what I do. So you can make money from 3D printing in multiple different ways, but the one way I will say that if you're serious about making money as like a side hustle or whatever you want to call it, go do a bunch of research on how to do this. If you can do something in ZBrush, you know, Tinkercad or anything like that, and create your own product, that's the way to go. You can do that. You can charge a fee for people to either use files or sell physical prints. And I'm going to tell you the way to go is doing by files. Patreon is the way to go. I mean, it really is, because you don't have to worry about producing physical prints, maybe doing some testing. Like, you only need a printer or two for that. But I would look into doing Patreon. Look at what Wicked's doing. Wicked has 3 Patreons. Those guys are killing it. They're producing top-notch models. They have about 40 different artists on hand, and they're killing it. So you got really good patrons out there. Also, are BioBreed. You got Black Owl Customs, which I'm a member of those Patreons. You got R3D. You got all kinds of. You got Wesker. You got all these other guys that are doing it. And then you got a lot of the people who are doing the print in place sort of thing, that you know, like the Dragons and everything like that. That was a huge hit, like last year before last. And some of these guys have like 10,000 Patreon members that they get revenue from in a month. So you figure, let's just say they're making $10 off of each member, and 10,000 patrons, or let's just even say half of that, 5,000 patrons times $10. You do the math, and I will tell you right now, that is a healthy chunk of money. And basically all they're doing is they're designing their own stuff. You don't have to worry about copyrights. You don't have to worry about trademarks. You don't have to worry about Disney or DC coming and hammering you, because you own this stuff. The other thing that I would look into is, if you're going to go that route, look into becoming an LLC. So that way you take your personal being out of your business. That way, if anything goes south or anything like that, you have yourself covered. The other thing too is to copyright your design. Costs a little bit of money. To do, but it's yours. And you don't want this stuff to wind up on Etsy for $1, which a lot of people are doing now. They're stealing designs, they're putting them on Etsy, charging $1 or $2 for them, and making money off other people's designs. those people are pieces of shit. And I'm sorry I'm saying that. But like I've told my guys, if any of the designs that I have wind up on Etsy, I stop doing, the whole model of the month sort of thing, because I put a lot of work, a lot of time and effort in there, and to get you guys some nice files to print for yourself. And I don't even care if you print out for your brother or share for a friend or whatever. But I'm telling you, it's totally disrespectful to have, bust your butt on a file and to have some idiot go in there and steal it and put it on Etsy for a friggin' $1 or $2, whatever they do. So, and I don't have very many Patreon members, and I can weed it down. So anyway, I would love to have you as a Patreon member. Not just for the file that I give away every month, but for the, we have discussions over there. I help people. We are a big community. We're kind of like a little brethren over there, if you will. We do more than talk about 3D printing and stuff like that. I mean, it's one of those things, but that's for another discussion, another live stream. But what I can say is, if you're serious about doing it, my suggestion is getting into some sort of niche directed towards a certain audience. My recommendation is stay away from the 18 to 35 male audience. And here's why. Is because a lot of these guys at that age range are already printing their own stuff. So you're going to have a smaller audience than you think. So your 18 to 35 guys, they're exploring, they're doing research on 3D printing, they're printing their own models, they're painting their own models. A lot of people are doing their own YouTubing and stuff now. So I would look into something seriously, and you might think I'm crazy, but look into more of your adolescent, your stay-at-home moms. I look at something like that, more like parent sort of thing, because this is an activity that they could do with their kids. And you would probably want to go the FDM route rather than resin printing. But that way they have something to, mothers will buy your designs, the little snakes and dragons and things like that, your print and play stuff, organizers, all kinds of things like that could be used for household items. That is where your money is. That is where your audience is. They will actually go for that sort of thing. And CY Wolf said here about the anime. That's another thing that's big right now, is if you can make your own anime characters. Of course, you want to stay away from the trademarked and copywritten stuff, because you got all these people out there that can bring you down, shut your site down, shut your business down, and then you're just in a pickle. So that's why I'm saying that, look into like things like school teachers, kids, like I'll say like 10 to 13, 15 years old, making some of the cute stuff that they could have in their room, making like the print and place sort of things, unique items that people will want to buy, rather than doing nothing but comic book characters and, video game characters and stuff like that. You can do that sort of thing, but I'm telling you, don't expect to make a ton of money off of that, because a lot of people are doing it already. So if you want to seriously get into it, that is one huge consideration to think about. The other thing is, if you want to go the superhero route, doing things like that, and you want to design, look into Patreon. Look into Patreon, because again, you can make a file, never have to have a physical print, share the file with a group, with an audience or whatever, and make money that way. That is another thing that you can do. Again, if you start doing trademarked or copywritten stuff, then you run the risk. Okay. And I'm not going to say that, I'm not going to condone it either way, because I would be hypocritical saying that, because considering, look behind me, I print and paint, stuff that's actually somebody else's artwork, but I don't sell my stuff. So there's a big difference there. Let's see this week. Yeah. So, I mean, when it comes to the Etsy thing or whatever, a lot of people use Etsy to sell physical prints. So that's another revenue stream right there for you. So if you are printing stuff, if you're part of, let's say, Wicked's Patreon or anything like that, and you can get permission to sell prints, then go for it. But make sure you get permission. There are some Patreons that actually will charge you like $10 a month, maybe $20 a month, and you can sell unlimited prints all you want to. I would say that if that's your thing, then go for it. Where it comes into trickiness sort of thing is if you're wanting to paint stuff as well. Because I will tell you this, and just as a suggestion, stay away from painting because of a few things. For one, people are picky as hell. No matter how good you are at painting something, they're going to find something wrong with it. If you have just a physical print to just a raw print, and they know it's a raw print, you print it out, you wash it, you cure it, you whatever like that, and maybe doing some pre type of work on it, and sell it that way. They print it themselves. They got nothing to complain about. Again, look into things like different tiers that you could do. Like you could do like when you do a physical print, it could be like a perfect print. You charge premium price for it. You could do something like a little piece or something like that didn't print right or something. You could sell it at a discounted rate. That way you don't lose money. That way you're not printing a bunch of resin or FDM prints and you're just throwing them in the trash because there's something wrong with them. Now, of course, if they got major problems, then you don't want to sell them to somebody. So I've even seen people do that. Like I said, doing different tiers, a little bit of a flaw, they sell it at a discounted price. A premium print, they sell it at full price. And then you got something that, is not too great or whatever like that. Then again, something they might want to work on themselves to kind of tinker with, then you could sell that for a lower price. So that's just something to look into as well. The other thing to look into besides physical prints is, maybe I've seen a lot of people do these, what do they call, geez. They're FDM prints or like lithographs or whatever. Like you get a picture or whatever, like something lithopane or something like that. But anyway, a lot of people do that for like loved ones, pets, things like that. That is a huge deal because, like if your dog dies or something, you're going to want something to remember them by or something. And that's a good type of niche to get. Yeah, lithoplanes. There you go, Mike. Thank you. But a lot of people are doing that. It doesn't take a lot of work to do. You get a picture. There's a program that you can get that picture and actually transfer it to an STL file and print that out. And it's good to you can use like some sort of light behind it. You can use it as a night light, that sort of thing. But look into certain niche type revenue streams like that. And then you can probably start making in some money that way. But if you're just going into 3D printing with no research, no education whatsoever, you just think you're going to get rich off of it by doing it that way, think again. You're really not. I can tell you right now, Wicked is doing really good because they busted their butt. They're committed. They're passionate. I know Gabriel personally. The dude is he's jacked. He's on 10 every time you talk to him. You've seen some of his videos on Facebook and everything, but the guy he's on 10 every single time. And they do really good work. There are a lot of good Patreons out there that do really top-notch work. There are some that need some work. But if you are one of these people that is a loyal supporter and you're sticking with them and everything, like I can remember when Wicked first started out, I think they did the first one was like a black, what was the Black Panther, Captain America, and they had another Captain America model before that, and they did a Hulk. I think they did a Hela bust. They weren't all that great, but they were evolving. They were bettering themselves, and it's just a matter of having a loyal following. So That's what you want. Just like any YouTube channel, like I have. If you create a loyal following, you give people what they want, and you take the time to show them things and respond to their questions and everything like that. It's not all about the quality. It's also about the after sale. So that's another thing that you need to take into consideration if you're looking to get into 3D printing. I know the business that I'm in, like my day job, we sell a product, but that doesn't stop there. I mean, you have to be one of these type of people that if they have issues with something, that you can answer some questions for them. You don't want to gaff somebody off. Again, I understand, you don't want to be that one who just brushes off people. And understand that a lot of time is kept up doing other things or whatever. But if you could reach out to your customers, it means volumes to the customers that you have. So think about that when you're getting into a 3D printing business. The other thing that you can do is, look at, a lot of people go to like different shows, crafts fairs and things like that. If you want to burn the midnight oil and do things like that, do some traveling, go some of these shows, toy cons or something like that. Again, that's another revenue stream that you could do with 3D printing. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of stuff to get into. Physically printing stuff is time consuming. It's taxing, and it costs a lot of money up front. And so that's why I'm saying, like, if you were to be able to design something unique and something original and put it up on a Patreon and start selling stuff that way, just a file, I mean, that is the way to go. I mean, talk to some of these guys that have been doing this for a while, that's what their job is. Some of these guys are making thousands of dollars every month doing this. It's hard work. And it's one of those things that you can't get sick. You can't take time off sometimes. Like, they're going to expect something, you provide them something every month. Now, if you're smart, and you can make several designs and you can stretch it over an amount of time, then yeah, you can juggle personal time and professional time, still take vacation time and time of your own. But again, you got to have that customer service oriented mindset that you got to provide something every month for them in return. I see a lot of YouTubers that have, they just talk. They have Patreons where they just talk and inform members about products and stuff like that they're demoing and everything. That's pretty cool. But when it comes to 3D printing, you have to provide something. You have to provide something in a file form or a physical form. So they're a little bit different. There's a little bit more work involved, I think, in what we do compared to other Patreons, where, some girl might get on there and say, oh, this is the newest shade of lipstick that I'm going to go over, and, I'm going to give you a link to order it. There's really not much to that. There's groundwork that you have to do. There's research that you have to do. And you have to do work for sponsorships and things like that. But when you're talking 3D printing and you're actually physically setting up printers and you're buying filament, you're buying resin, and then you're taking the time to print these things, and you're taking the time to, design a file and make a file, these things take time. They take up a lot of time. Like Mike says, shipping prints can suck when they break. That's why I'm telling you, if you really want to do something in the 3D printing realm to make money, Patreon is the route to go. Design is the route to go. Because if you are a great designer, not only can you make stuff of your own, but if in the beginning you don't have a lot of Patreon members who sign up for your service, do commission work. If you got that niche, that you have that unique style, that unique gift where you can design stuff, you can do a couple of minor commissions to make some extra money or whatever until your Patreon members sign up and you start getting that gathering. So that's another thing to think about. But yeah, physical prints, that's a gamble. I mean, it's a lot of money to do, but if that's what you want to do, then my recommendation is think of something, hire a designer, think of something to make that's unique, original, something you can copyright yourself, something you can drive towards a certain audience, and go for it. I mean, you can do it. I don't think that the audience I was telling you about, I don't think if you target those 18 to 35-year-old males, I don't really think that you're going to have much success in making a huge living unless you're doing something like Wicked or something like Black Owl. Vengeance Studios is another one. Tengen is another. Well, Tengen is something a little bit different. I'm sitting there looking at it in front of me right here. But Black Forge Games is doing their own thing. But it's taking them some time and work to do. Think about that. I mean, that it's something you can hire somebody to do your work. But keep in mind that if you are doing a Patreon and you're doing things like copywritten superheroes, Marvel, DC, video games, movies, things like that, you run the risk of being shut down. I mean, I can't get any other, straight to the point, but you run the risk. Now, I will say this, that a lot of Patreon members that are in foreign countries and stuff, that don't really, certain countries that don't really look at copyright laws and value them, or, hold much merit to them or anything, then, they get away with a little bit more than like if you're US based or Canada based or even Europe based. So, but keep in mind that these companies can go into your site, Facebook, YouTube, or anything like that, and cut you off. And then you have to go in and you have to create another site, create another following or whatever, contact your members, let them know what's going on. So that's why I'm saying, if you want to do something unique, something that's yours, that nobody can take away from you, that you can copyright, that is the way to go. I do follow a couple people on TikTok. I think that is the only social media that they have that they promote their products. And they basically just get on there and they just show some of the stuff that they did. Hey, we done this desk organizer here. For $10 a month, you can sign up on my Patreon and I send you the files and you can print them out for yourself. Done. So that's their way of marketing. But if you do something like that, you will definitely have to do some sort of marketing. You don't have to do YouTube, but you'll have to do something on something like TikTok or Instagram, one of those guys, Twitter. But yeah, so anyway, something to think about. We'll talk a little bit more. I've got some people here. A lot of people are admiring my Cobra shirt. So yeah, I got this off of Amazon. It was $23. You can't really see it from here, but it does say Cobra 1982 Cobra Command. But I'm a huge Joe fan. And I am going to be doing some stuff for G.I. Joe, or not for G.I. Joe, not for Hasbro, but I'm going to be doing some setups here and everything like that, because I'm a big Joe fan. But when we get this room done and everything, I'm going to walk you through some of my Joe collectibles. So yeah, Matt, you're right. Copyright is a serious thing. Just keep in mind that if you do anything 3D printing wise or whatever like that, you run that risk of getting shut down. So, or yeah, you can have a popular YouTube guy demo your product. So let me go back here, and I know we got off to a bad start, probably one of the worst starts, and I feel embarrassed that we had this crash, and then we got back on and we had another one. So hopefully, my apologies and everything, and we'll knowing is half the battle. Hopefully we don't have this much again. But what I was saying earlier is with the room, tomorrow we're supposed to have some people come out and build my storage room and finish it so we could start working on this and putting stuff in there and getting everything sorted out. So by all means, these live streams, hopefully they'll get better once we get into a permanent location, permanent setup and everything. Because right now, everything that you see around me is real temporary. So I can show you once everything is in a permanent home, I can start actually demoing things live for you guys, such as models, printers, things like that. and a little bit more interactive than what we're doing here right now. So let's see here. So we got you can do stuff for charity, but that's not going to make you any money. Doing stuff for charity is pretty cool. It might get your name out there. It might get your business out there. If you're doing some stuff for charity, you can probably go on to some pretty cool sites or whatever like that and get them to plug things for you. So that's a possible thing. But in the end, what you want to do is you want to be able to make money and not give stuff away. So Visto Gaming says, honestly, Reddit has been huge for getting stuff seen for me, advertising and such. So yeah, that's kind of going back to some of the social media that I was talking about that you're going to need if you were to open up your own business. Don't forget to LLC it, and to get your name out there. You got to do some marketing. So, all right, Woody, we'll see you later, buddy. Thank you for tuning in, man. So with that said, more things that you could probably look into when it comes to 3D printing is you can look into resin casting. So I know a lot of people do that, make garage kits. Garage kits go back 30, 40 years. A lot of these guys were making a model by traditional sculpting by hand, and just making casts, silicone casts or silicone molds, and doing resin casting out of that. So depending on how much money you want to start out with, if that's your thing, you can make a model and develop several castings for it and sell garage kits. You can do that. That way that nobody will really get your file. I mean, if you're so much worried about people stealing your file and selling it on Etsy for $1.99, you could do things like that. Keep in mind that you'll still get some kits that won't turn out great, and you won't, you're not going to get rich off of it. I mean, so that's another thing. Sweet Tooth says he's a traditional sculptor and mold making broke him. So there's some people that, it gets in over your head and it doesn't bode very well. And that's because, like I said earlier, a lot of those people are already doing it themselves. Your 18 to 35 age range, they're the ones who are already printing the models. They're designing the models, they're printing them, and they're doing it for themselves. They're not buying models and stuff, but they're buying files to print. So that's what I'm saying. If you really want to get into making money, designing your own stuff is way to go. But yeah, silicone is crazy expensive and the learning curve is brutal with resin casting. So I'll tell you this, the Chinese have been doing it for years. That's where that's where all of your Sideshow and your Prime One and your XM Studios, all these models that they come out with, all of these statues they come out with, that's what they do, is they resin cast, and they, that's how they do it. They make silicone molds out of them. They 3D print them. Used to, it was traditional sculpt. But that's how they do. They make silicone molds and they make thousands of these things just based off of one mold. I mean, you could probably get, 30, 40 castings easy out of one silicone mold set. And like I said, this Ghost Rider that Sideshow just dropped for $1,100. I mean, you think of how many thousands that they're going to be making, and how much money they got tied up into that versus what their profit is. So, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Bionic Sidekick just joined us. Howdy. So yeah, and this is another thing to think of too. So Sweet Tooth has a good point here. Did a custom cyborg Superman sculpt and got removed from statue groups for posting pictures of it. Keep in mind that a lot of these statue groups that you might be part of are from a commissioner. somebody who all they want to do is they want to sell their stuff on their social media. They don't want you to post anything on there. I mean, and they want to make thousands of dollars. So, yeah, that's what happens. So yeah, let's see here. Mod said the creators didn't want to damage their relationship with Sideshow by letting custom sculpts be posted in their groups. Well, here's the thing with that, and unless you're crawling under a rock or whatever like that, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say this because I know firsthand that this is going on, that a lot of these Chinese companies that are making stuff for Sideshow, making stuff for XM, making stuff for Prime One, they're doing customs as well. They're taking on, custom companies or people making commissions or whatever like that, and they're making money off them too. They're not loyal to just Sideshow and Prime One and all these guys. They're not. I mean, because let's put it this way, money talks. So if you are a commissioner and you're needing some company to do this stuff for you, they're doing it on the side. It's not, they may say that, yeah, we don't want to damage our relationship with Sideshow or whatever, because they don't have a license. But yeah, when it comes down to it, yeah, they're skating on making money themselves on the side. But the thing is you run a lot of risk in having to ship this stuff out, having it made, having it shipped out. It gets to a customer, it's broken, the paint doesn't look right, something like that. So there's all headaches about that. And the only thing I will say is, if you don't believe me, look at what eMake is going through right now with their printers. There has been a bunch of them to arrive damaged to the customer. You don't think that's a shit show over there, my friend? Oh my God. A lot of people are getting their printers and posting like some major damage to them. And you're talking thousands of dollars that these guys have spent on this printer. I didn't back it. I mean, I was thinking about backing it until I saw basically what they were doing with the whole thing. I mean, they were sending out some printers to YouTubers and so-called influencers to do reviews for them. These guys weren't doing reviews. They never did the first review. They're taking it out of a box and going, oh my gosh, doesn't it look pretty? Look at this. It's got this feature. It's got that feature. And, I told them, I said, look, if you want a review done, send me one. I'll do a few reviews for you. I'll maximize the build plate. I'll put that through to the max and find out what it can really do, instead of printing like a little bitty miniature and go, oh my gosh, look at the quality on this. I knew this was going to happen. But yeah, like Dauntless said, so glad he withdrew his pledge on there. And that's, Richard, you're right. Never back technology on a Kickstarter. It might be a good price, but I'd rather spend the extra couple $100 knowing that sucker's been R&D'd to death and people are getting a good printer and it's working, and you don't have to get a damaged unit. I mean, that's crazy. So, Red Tail, hey, what's up, man? The same thing with, statues. I mean, you'll get them, they'll be broken. It'll be an utter mess. You'll have to replace them. You'll have to get parts and replace them and stuff like that. So yeah, stay away from that stuff too. Let me see if it's worth it to them. Right. So, yeah, same thing with small figurines from Chinese websites like AliExpress. The paint job is horrible. Yeah, those guys make these things by the thousands, and they don't care what it looks like. It's derived towards a certain audience, and they're making their money. Let me see. Give me a second, guys. I'm reading some comments here. So yeah, so here's the thing with getting your own stuff and buying a license or whatever like that. So as a small business trying to get a license through a parent company like Disney is super expensive. Some of these licenses are up in the millions of dollars. And they don't just hand them out to everybody. Let's say you have $1 million and you want to do a statue license. They have contracts with all these other people, all these other companies and everything that they refuse to, they can't, they're locked in. They can't just give you a license just because of the sake that you have money. So actually, it's tough. Hey, we got a super sticker from Mike. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, Mike. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Only thing that Paul says, the only thing I've backed is the Incure. So yeah, I mean, the Incure is one of those things that I did a review on. I know there's been a couple other people that did reviews on. It's proven. It'll work. It's a curing machine. It's not a 3D printer. The way they ship it, it's broken down. You have to assemble it yourself. So there's not a lot of, when you get it, it's going to be damaged or anything like that. They let you know that you have to assemble this thing. You have to put it together. So, I mean, and it's not a complex machine. So, but when you're talking 3D printing, you're talking, these guys were ramping up the eMake machine about lasers, this, and it's going to be a huge build plate. It's going to be technologically sound and blah, blah, blah. That's all good and great, but they didn't really give it out to the right people to test this thing. And the first time I saw one of these things crated up, I knew there was going to be damage because UPS, USPS, DHL, all these guys are not very kind to their stuff that they send. There was no packing materials really that was really good in supporting this stuff. A lot of these things are winding up with the vat pegs bent, the front end just totally crushed in, the handles, the casing's warped, the handles don't work. I mean, I really feel bad for some of these guys that spent their money on this Kickstarter here. There's been some people that get their stuff in and it's worked okay. I haven't seen anybody just print something that was worthwhile that is just making me want to go out and buy this printer. So again, MM Crew is longer a good FDM printer. They're proven. Yeah, they're good. But again, they do a lot of developmental research on their stuff. They've got backing. To show you that they're put a price tag on it, and there you go. Let's see. So yeah, you want to make money out of 3D printing, go the Patreon route, create a design, do something that is yours, nobody can take away from you, and you can build off of it. Now, your design could be something as simple as, and I'm going to show you this. Yeah, I was freezing there for a second. So here you go. I got this Magneto helmet. This was something that I bought from Hasbro. It was a little expensive or whatever, but it came with a stand. All right. And I'm showing you this for a reason. It came with a little stand that has Magneto. You just set it up here. And there you go. You can display it. So everybody knows cosplay is huge. It's one of those things that there's so much you can develop. So cosplay is huge. A lot of people are printing helmets and things like that. But why not design a stand? It could be a stand to go on like a desktop. It could be a stand to go on a wall. Things like that people can utilize, like as far as files, not physical prints, but as far as files that they can display their stuff on, even for statues, even for busts. That's something that I'm actually looking into. Maybe down the road, I mean, we're talking way down the road, that I can probably develop for people. One of the greatest things ever that I saw was on Sarge. Sargent did, he has a YouTube as well, but he did this whole thing on this whole video on a lot of these organizers and, things like this that you put your paint in, you put your brushes and stuff like that in. So there's actually some people that were on Cults 3D that did a whole, sort of things like that. They made the whole organizers and everything. You could buy the files, print them out yourself and everything. That's such a cool idea. Hey, and you don't have to worry about copyrights. You don't have to worry about somebody, suing you because you taken away from their design or anything like that. This is you. If you get a copy written, put it on Etsy, report it through Etsy, and they'll take it down. Otherwise, if it's some fan art or whatever, that's a file that's owned by DC, when you report it to Etsy or whatever, then you're going to play hell getting them to take it down, because technically the design does not belong to you. So it's not your design. This is something like, I wish I would have thought of something like this. So I appreciate you, Sergeant, for Sergeant Digital Design. He's got a YouTube channel for posting this, because I'm thinking about doing this for myself. This is pretty cool, unique idea. And things like that. If you were able to come up with something, some sort of niche that's something like that, then you can break down some walls and some barriers and really, really, really probably have a really good following from that. Another thing, like a bunch of guys that I partner with and stuff is Black Forge Games. Black Forge Games is doing their own thing. They're getting ready to open up a Patreon, I think August 1st, here just in a few days. But they got some beautiful designs. If you're in the whole fantasy art sort of thing, and I did this on my last live stream, I showed the Tenjin model. I actually have it here in front of me. I'd like to show it to you, but I'm afraid it's not glued together. It's not glued together by any means, and if I pick it up, it's probably going to fall apart. I'm going to try here. Let's see here. If you're a big crash, you know what happened. So I am making this thing, and this is by far the best detailed design that I have ever printed 3D printing wise. And this thing here, it's a beautiful file, guys. So when they get their Patreon over there, I really think they're going to go gangbusters if they start producing some stuff, especially monthly, like they should. They have a few unique designs over there that they own. It's copywritten. Nobody can touch it. It's one of those things that what you need to do if you really want to get into 3D printing. These guys did their R&D. They did their research. They did their development. They've got some amazing artists. I think it's like 4 of them. The one guy that I talk to a lot, his name is Enzo. But Enzo is super helpful. And they gave me these files to print out. I'm actually going to print this. They have a huge, huge amount of talent over there. So if you're a talented person and you can do stuff like this that's unique, and this isn't a DC character, this isn't a Marvel character or anything like that, go check them out. The book nooks, that Miniatures of Madness are doing, that Uncle Jesse did the video on, that is a freaking cool idea. So you can make money off of that. But again, you have to be innovative every single month. If you want to do the book nooks or whatever, you can do things like fantasy and monsters and things like that. But you have to be on top of your toes. You have to find out what is everybody is looking for. What's their niche? What are they looking to get? Don't surround yourself with basically just one sort of of item. I mean, if you got the talent, you can develop stuff like this. So let me see if I can put this back up there without it completely falling everywhere. It's coming apart. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys that because that is talent. I mean, those are some of the things. Those are some of the ideas. If you kind of get where I'm going, I mean, if you're into ZBrush and you are doing this sort of thing, ZBrush Blender or whatever, and you got talent, dude, I want to talk to you, because I mean, I'd like to commission some models of the month for my Patreon themselves. But by all means, I mean, that is one of the things that it gets me excited, because I love seeing artists at work. I love seeing people develop new things that that they can call their own, that they can develop and put out there for the public, and everybody eats it up, and they're making money. Oh, that's awesome. That's, you know, if that's what you're wanting to do, then that is cool. So yeah, let's see here. Rob, it's Black Forge Games. Go check them out. They're on Facebook. They're not on YouTube. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram. They got some really, really cool designs. They're a fantasy type of company. I did a couple of their models. I did the Kojiro Panther, which is like a unique panther meat type of bird. But they got a lot of fantasy animals and stuff over there. They got a lot of characters that they've done already. You can buy them. You can purchase the files and print for yourself. But they're opening up a Patreon. So I'm curious to see what their Patreon is going to look like. Excuse me. What their Patreon is going to look like, and how they're going to go about it and everything. I'm really super excited. You're damn right I'm going to be part of that Patreon, because I've seen the work that these guys do. Who's on My Mini Factory? Is it Black Forge is on My Mini Factory? They may be. But the Book Nooks, let's talk about a little bit about that. What a unique design. First one I ever saw was the Wicked did one for the Jack Nicholson, The Shining. The head, like, here's Johnny. That was a Book Nook sort of thing. That's the first one I've seen somebody do. But the ones that Uncle Jesse did, I think you can get the whole entire set of files for like $65, which is not bad. I'm not sure what their thought process, their rules or regulations are on printing their stuff and selling physical prints. But man, can you imagine if you could think of something like that just to do and sell a file and, you know, make $10 a month per person? It wouldn't take you very long to build up a following to really start making some money. So yeah, by all means, that's something to look into. The organizers that Sarge did the thing on, I mean, that's something to look at. Terrain. A lot of people do Warhammer, all kinds of D&D gaming and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of people develop terrain. Some really cool stuff. Tanks, I've seen a lot of World War II people get into like different terrains and stuff like that for, army battles and things like that. So that's another thing. And just your common model car modeling. Like, I think everybody, when they were a kid, they put model cars together, but there are all kinds of things that you can do. Like, I've seen Patrons that have like gas station setups, like backdrops sort of things, service stations, and, race car settings and different terrains for those, different types of, display stands or whatever like that. So yeah, I mean, those are files that are easily done that you could develop a following and make some money off that. So yeah. Yes. Ralph says $65 horror and fantasy theme, 19 files. So 19 files for $65 is not bad. And I bet you anything they got one hell of a following. I don't know. Are these guys on a Patreon right now, or are they just on My Mini Factory and Colts 3D? Let me know in the comments. So let's see here. So yeah, that's another thing. Complete 3D printable car models. I'm not sure about the trademark and the copyright sort of thing on that, considering like a lot of your cars are Ford, Chevy, things like that. So I'm not sure if they would come after you for something like that, but you could definitely do parts, tires, fenders, things like that, interiors. I've seen a lot of people do some pretty unique things, but that is something that you could definitely look into. Yeah, the World War stuff is huge in model making. Another thing, and I'm probably going to give this away. Somebody's probably going to steal my idea, but something I want to do. I collect 1/6 scale collectible figures, like Hot Toys, sort of things like that. But I like doing customs. I got a lot of custom Punisher ones that I've done. There's a few Hot Toys that I bought here and there. There's a lot of third-party companies that I bought some stuff. But they always come, 99% of the time, they always come with just these plain stands, these plain figure stands. They're a little round or hexagon or something like that for the figure to stand on. And it's plain Jane. I want to make some designs. I want to make some designs of some unique stuff, like them sitting around a bunch of rubble or whatever, next to a wall or something like that. Some stands that you can put figures for like that and sell files that people can print. So I'm thinking about doing that. Maybe a little side hustle on the Patreon. Maybe develop another Patreon for that. So let's see. Yeah, with the silly seed clip to hold the model upright. Yep. So that's something that I'd like to do. Whether it works or not, I don't know. Yeah, Quinn's got a good one here. I seen this the other day, and this is some badass stuff. Gundam docking stations. I also saw some for the old Robotech. But yeah, that is really cool stuff. You can also develop some stuff like for Star Trek and Star Wars, like scenery. So I don't think that George Lucas or Disney can really come at you for making scenery, because this is stuff that is unique in its own, as long as you don't put like any characters or any like Star Wars characters or anything like that. So yeah. Yeah. So you got it right, Nettlewood. Maybe stands with optional pegs, like one up on a crate for interesting posing. So that's exactly what I was going to talk about. So like my idea, and don't steal it, but my idea is to take like a stand and like you can like if you have something like this, like some ammo crates or something, you can actually move them around on the stand and have like a unique peg up there for you can do optional posing. So that's something that, yeah, I was thinking about. Right, it's an accessory, so I don't think they could really come at you. But like, I saw somebody the other day that they did. I don't know if they got the file from the Star Wars Patreon from Wicked, or if they got it from Game Body or Sanix or whatever. But they did a whole big gigantic Star Destroyer, and they did a docking station for this thing, and it was like on a stand, and it was beautiful. I mean, a lot of work went into that, but that's a design that people would kill for, especially like in gaming. I actually had another idea for chess boards, checkerboards or whatever, like unique terrain type chess boards that you could design with unique border designs, things like that, because that is big. So there's a multitude of things. You just got to put your thinking cap on and get out there and start designing it. And a lot of these designing software companies or whatever like that, they don't cost a lot of money. Now, ZBrush is expensive, but Blender is free. And then Tinkercad, I think Tinkercad still free? I don't even know anymore. So there are things out there that you could do. Just got to put your mind to it. Develop where you want to go for a target audience. Again, keep in mind your younger male audiences, they're already doing stuff like this. So I'm telling you, look into things like parents, like the female, the 18 to 35 female who has a couple of kids at home that, that she's probably a housewife or something like that, stay at home mom, and she wants to do activities with her children. That is big. Look at some of your big YouTube channels. Some of your biggest YouTube channels, they're kid-based. Coco Melon, things like that. Think about it. Let me see here. Let me answer a few questions. Yeah, Mike said he printed did the printed bears for checkerboard pieces. Conceive 3D said, yeah, I have a lot of NECA Ninja Turtle figures. Always thought about 3D modeling your own dioramas to print. Go for it, man. That's exactly what I'm talking about. My goal is to, when I get everything set up, I'm going to have some shelves and stuff like that. I got a lot of Joe figures. They're 1/6. I've also been collecting the classified ones. They're not going to stay in, they're not going to stay in their packaging. I'm actually going to display them, but I want to do it really cool. I want to do some like the display to display everything, to put them up there, battle scenes and things like that. So, yeah, you can make some, probably make some money off of that. Let's see here. I know I've been rambling for a bit, but ultimately, again, if you're just tuning in to this live stream, in short, yeah, you can make money. There's a lot of opportunity out there, but you have to, you have to get on it. I mean, don't just sit there and just think about it. Do your research, do your proper research, especially if you're already into 3D printing. You should know the do's and don'ts of 3D printing, how to work 3D printers and everything. Now get to designing stuff. Yeah. So if you're wanting to get into 3D printing, you're wanting to make a big bang on it, and you've done your research and development and everything, and you bought your first printer, you kind of know the gist of it, and then you're just kind of wanting to do this, hit the ground running. Designing your own stuff is the way to go. So let me see. It is a steep learning curve. Gold miner, yes. Mego size accessories and vehicles. Yeah, I've got some Mego figures back from the day. I'll tell you what what I got, and I thought that would be cool to do. So I'm an old Kiss fan. I know they're just probably one of the worst groups ever, but I grew up listening to Kiss, and that's what got me into playing music. But I have the old Mego figures, the big tall ones. I would love to do a whole stage setup. I mean, with working lights and everything to display those on, that would be super cool. Something that I've always wanted to do. Let's see. Dario wants to know, do I collect video games statues or just BD? I'm clueless here. I don't collect video game statues. I'm not a big gamer. I never really have been. I know a lot of people have, but a lot of people are. I'm just not. I'm not a big gamer. Design replacement parts for older toys that are prone to losing or breaking, i.e. Godzilla shooting fist. Yeah, from the Shogun Warriors. Good idea, Quinn. So I've actually seen people do that. I've actually seen people take a lot of the old G.I. Joe toys that a lot of people are missing parts or something like that. So they went and they've designed stuff. Scanning, they've used scanners for some of the old toys that they've gone back and made parts for. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Yeah, Kiss, you either love him or hate him. Seeing Ace Frehley this weekend. Is the wife going to say I have a backlog of stuff already? Of course she is, because I have a backlog. Ellery says I need more room to display my stuff. Need to find more efficient display setup. So maybe I can help you with that in the future, because once I get this room done, I'm going to show you guys how to set up stuff. Again, I wanted to do this channel to do 3D printing and stuff like that, but I've also wanted to branch out and do other things, cosplay, collectibles, things like that. I didn't want to be just totally just doing, hey, this is a Batman, I painted it, this is how you paint it, blah, blah, blah. I want to do a lot more. So, and we're going to do a lot more on this channel. I'm going to do what I want to do. And that's the only way to do it. Talking about this stuff gets me excited and makes things go through my head, ideas and everything like that I just want to share, things that I want to do. My wife will tell you when it comes to this room, I'm so impatient because I've just been chomping at the bit to get it done, to show you guys. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to show you, you're going to see things like the world's largest Punisher statue collection. Yep. Things like that. I mean, it's just going to blow your mind. So anyway, let's get back to this. Try to spend a little time every day learning Blender. That's good. Blender is free, so I can design my own models eventually. Yep, that's the way to do it. So I think ZBrush has a monthly ZBrush has a monthly subscription that you can get to as well if you can't afford the $800, $900 fee right up front. What's the best way to take photographs of a face and get it on Amigo style head? Probably scanners. There's a lot of scanners that are out on the market now. That's probably the easiest way, probably the most efficient way. What, Paul? Black Ford's Games Patreon is up already? Okay. I was told it was going to come out on the... Oh, you know what? You're right. It come out today, the 27th. It wasn't the 1st. It was the 27th. My bad. Go over there and check it out, guys. Yeah. Let's see here. What else? What do you think is the best way to display statues like Moji cases? So you can do Moji cases, but you're going to pay for them. I'm actually getting ready to, like I said, once this room is cleared out, I've already got some displays ordered. I'm going to make my own. I'm going to do a video on show you how you can do it for a fraction of the cost and look badass. So keep in mind on that. Conceive 3D said, I just recently designed and printed a bobblehead of my boss. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Aaron's house and build his room. Yeah, going to Aaron's house and build his room. That's on you, Mike. I'm not going over there. Reggie's wanting to know my favorite Punisher artist, Mike Zeck, hands down. Jim Lee, close second. But Mike Zeck, he's the dude right there. Let me see. All right. You guys are putting out a lot of questions here. I've been following tutorials by a YouTuber named Dave Reed. Been learning some creating chibi monster characters and Nomad Sculpt and selling those in my shop. Awesome. That's cool. Original stuff. There you go. Yep. Ilgu is running a special on their new scanner. I haven't been over to check out any specs on it. But yeah, go over there and take a look at it. Have I had any experience on any scanners? No, sir. I am a no experience whatsoever. Yeah, none. But I'm looking to get into it. You just joined their Patreon. You're number 3. Okay. Do I have a Zeck sketch? Do I ever? I have several. I have probably 30 to 40 original Zeck pieces back from the 80s, 90s. Dude, I could tell you right now, when I used to go to a convention and Mike would sit and sign my book and do a sketch for like $30. Now they're hundreds of dollars. Actually, right now, you couldn't get Mike Zeck to sketch you anything right now. I think he's on like a permanent vacation. He's out somewhere in a some island or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, just chilling. Yeah, but Mike is getting up there in age and he's done his duty, and I think he's not even doing conventions right now. Let's see. Just tuned in. Not sure if you already touched on it, but my friend makes a good amount of money selling prints from places like Wicked and Berserk since they allow you to sell. Yeah, so we kind of went over that earlier, Sam. You know, you can do that. Again, it involves printing the stuff. So you're paying for the materials up front. You can make your money back later on down the line, but you can print as you go. You can already have some printed up just to sell and ship out immediately. But again, that requires money up front to do that. So yeah, I mean, you can do that and make money, but if you're looking to get into something that's not going to cost a lot of money up front, then designing your own stuff is probably the way to go. That's pretty much what I was saying. So yeah, I mean, I've been tinkering around with sculpting my own stuff. I'm actually a traditional sculptor. I've actually done some pieces back here that I'm going to show later on down the line in future videos. But I've actually done traditional sculpting. I have tinkered around with ZBrush and Blender for a little bit. My wife went and bought me a nice tablet that unfortunately I haven't had the time to fool with a lot, but yeah, so I mean, I'm looking to get more into it. I just don't have the time. So yeah, cool. All right. So we got 63 people on here watching this. This is cool. This is awesome. This is great. And I'm sorry about the whole F up earlier. I mean, it was one of those things that we had a power surge, and again, the internet went down. So I got on the phone for a minute and I tried switching back over, and that didn't go well. Paul says, I went to Academy of Art University and learned Maya and ZBrush. So yeah, Rob, here you go. Kind of touched on this earlier. Rob said he saw someone selling painted Wicked pieces at the last show he went to and selling them painted for $500 to $1,000, but didn't see anyone carrying any. The reason being is because those shows are really geared towards that 18 to 35 audience that I was talking about. And those guys are already printing the stuff. They're already got their printers. They're already printing Wicked models and painting them themselves. So it's kind of hard to really go and charge $500 to $1,000 like Sideshow with that goofy Ghost Rider half bike thing that they're selling that's going to wind up on clearance next year when they're already doing it. I mean, people are already doing it. That's why I was saying earlier, go back and watch the live stream. I don't want to go back on it too much, but you making a file that's your own copywritten and everything like that, it's speaks volumes. Do your own thing, sort of like that. Well, thank you, Kyle. You're awesome too, man. Got a signature line from Pro Acryl Monument Hobbies yet? No. Thought you guys were going to harass them for me. You need a creative collector line of paints. They're doing everything for miniatures right now. We don't need miniature paints anymore. We need statue paints. Go over there and bug the hell out of them. The paints are great, by the way. I bought almost their whole entire line, and I love them. Sergeant said, I learned ZBrush and Maya at the Art Institute of Virginia Beach, and you quit. So a little background about me is I got a scholarship to the Memphis College of Art here in Memphis, and full scholarship, and never took it. And I kick myself every day for doing it. But I can draw. I can paint. I can do all kinds of different mediums and stuff like that. The only thing that I really can't do is I can probably do ZBrush if I really took the time to get into it, but that's where it's at right now. So yeah. We need classic superheroes colors. Yeah, I agree. Let's see here. What else we got? All right. So, all right, guys. Statue and miniature paint is not the same thing. Well, yeah, it can be, but they gear it towards mini painters with speed paints and things like that. And I would love to see people. I'll say this. You got a lot of people into miniature painting. You don't have a lot of people into statue painting. So if you got a paint company to market a set of paints specifically geared towards the statue community, more people would get into statue painting, right? I mean, that's my way of thinking. So you need larger bottles. Not necessarily. I mean, I've been painting with Vallejo for years, these little bitty bottles, and the Pro Acryl paints are a little bit bigger. But larger bottles would help. I mean, they would help with statue painters. You don't have to get into that much. All right. Double the size bottle for print, paint, repeat. Hey, I'm all for it. Mini paints for mini models. There you go. Bigger paints for bigger models. Okay. Did I finish the Kratos statue? No, sir. No, I have a backlog. Hashtag backlog. Come on, honey. My wife will chime in anytime. Hashtag backlog. James, you work. Hey, cheap craft paint works for you, man. Hey, absolutely. You can use cheap craft paint. Oh, now my son is on here. Slacker. Gee, thanks, son. Oh, slacker. I am a slacker. Hey, but I'm printing a lot of cool shit right now. and you guys are going to be seeing some really cool stuff. So anyway, yeah, you two ganging up on me. My wife and my son both ganging up on me. That's all right. Anyway, guys, thank you for hanging out tonight. I mean, despite the whole screw up at the beginning, I mean, we still managed to get a lot of people on here seeing my ideas, and I mean, that is super cool. I mean, for me, this is it. I mean, this is like this is my Disneyland right here, if you will. I mean, because you guys are taking time out of your evening to come and listen to me rattle off a bunch of stuff and talk about ideas for you guys to go in and make money, you know, and enjoy the hobby. And I really appreciate it. So, but yeah, there's a lot of great ideas out there. Thanks, Rob. Another great stream. I appreciate it. And it has been fun talking to you guys. But it's about time to close it up for this evening. I still haven't eaten dinner. My wife and I still haven't eaten dinner. I appreciate it, Rob. So yeah, absolutely. Guys, if you will, if you enjoy the content, go over to my channel, hit the like button on every damn thing. Just do it. I mean, just like everything, the live streams, the videos, the community post or whatever. I mean, just bam, just get out there and hit all the likes or whatever. Yeah, do it. And that really helps the channel and get us out there. Hey, before we go, we got Vengeance Studios on here. So I'm going to have this dude on. Jordan does some really good models. If you haven't checked out his Patreon, go over there and do it. But I'm going to have you on, Jordan, one day, and we're going to plug the Patreon. I've done some really good Punisher models from him. But yeah. So yeah, anyway, I appreciate it, guys. I'm getting ready to get off of here. If you have any other questions, post them in the comments or whatever. Man, I would love to get to 100,000. If I get to, let's put it this way. If I get to 100,000, all right, you're seeing it on a live stream. If I get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year, I'm going to do a giveaway that's going to blow everyone else's giveaway off. I'm going to give away printers. I'll probably give away my house. No, I won't do that. I'll give away all kinds of stuff. So I've already got some giveaways planned, but I will do some really kick-ass resin printers, not just the little bitty, Mars or something like that. I'll do something really, really cool. Mark my words, 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, December. So let's get on it. Let's promote. Oh yeah, and I'll have that one dislike. I'll have that one dislike that everybody just, that one person just does it. I know who you are. So, yeah. Cool. Can you use paint pens on models? Absolutely. You get a printer and you get a printer and you get a, yeah, we'll do the whole, you get a printer, you get a, man, I will give away so many freaking printers. I will get some sponsors to send me stuff, and I'll pay some out of my own hip pocket. I'll have bottles of resin stacked up back here that I'll give away. All right. Cool, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, it means a lot to me. I'm just so passionate about this. I get on here and I just go absolutely nuts. But I appreciate all the support. It's been a really good 2 years. We're getting ready to hit 17,000 subscribers. So that is away from 100,000. 100,000 is kind of far-fetched, but hey, but I mean, it would be, oh man, it would be awesome. But if we could do something like that, but hey guys, yeah, dinner would be on me. Probably a couple of drinks. And then I will go over and I will help clean up Aaron's workroom. Hey, 50,000. If we do 50,000 by the end of the year, I'm still going to do one hell of a giveaway. Promise you that. But I appreciate all the help, guys. I appreciate everything that you guys do for the channel. So remember, give a like to any of the videos that you like, the content. Let me know what you guys want to see, some topics that you want to see on the live stream and everything. Hopefully we don't have this big screw up like we have been doing and everything. And we're going to keep going. We're going to keep rolling here. We're going to keep continuing, showing you guys tutorials, different things with the collections, different prints and everything like that, paint ups and stuff. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff. This isn't going to be a one-trick pony for this channel. I'm definitely wanting to branch out a little bit, and I just need your support. But hey, if if it calls for it, we'll continue doing the type of content that you guys want. But I greatly appreciate the support. But I'm going to get out of here now, guys. I see a few people knocking off now. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. And I got a new video coming up pretty soon. I'm working on it. We're going to be doing some pretty cool stuff. I got some reviews coming up as well. I got some stuff from Gallery. There were some airbrushes that they sent me. We're going to be testing those. We're going to be testing a couple of printers. And I'm going to be doing some cosplay stuff. I've been working on some of that stuff, working on some different things like that. But yeah, I appreciate it very much. Don't forget to give me a like. Don't forget to share the video. Again, I apologize for the earlier and the live stream, but hey, I mean, it happens. Thanks for all the support, guys. And I'll just say, get out and create something. Stay safe out there. Print, prep, paint, repeat. And until the next video or until the next live stream, guys, thank you so much. I'm out. Have a good one. Thank you for the live stream. And thank you for all the support. Peace.